was the biggest challenge for you in bringing yourself from writing music to putting yourself out there? And yeah, to where you are today, like what has been the
Um,
biggest breakthrough for you?
of course, it's that initial threshold of putting out the first thing is the most nerve-wracking thing. But there've been different moments throughout that I've recognized, oh my gosh, this is significant and it means something. I remember with not the album I put out this year, but I put out an album last year or 2 years ago now, Jesus, called Vehicular Suicide. It was all horror themed and it was morbid and gory.
Why was that?
Just I love Halloween. I love
Okay.
horror films. That's me.
Yeah, yeah.
I always do shows around Halloween. I love spooky season and anything,
Yep.
you know. But one of the songs in it called An Aeternum V, we did a music video where we were all smoking in this abandoned church, and it did really well. Like for me, it went viral. Other people would say viral is hundreds of millions, but it got a couple 100,000 views, and honestly, it's changed my life. That music video and that song, because it introduced me to like a lot of opportunities. And last year, Paul Weller, who I'm not sure if you're familiar with his music, he's in the Jam and the Style Council, and he has his own solo career. He found my music through a friend in Derry, and he asked me if I would support for him on his American tour last year, and that was life changing. And then that led to playing the Jules Holland show a couple of months ago, and that was, like it's always these chain reactions where you think, oh, this is a small music video. You don't know that, and I didn't know that, and it became a big music video, and it became, where I am now.
What was the tour like with Paul?
The tour, okay, well, there was two sides to the tour, which was the singing side and being on the shows, which was amazing. Like the most, it was playing to like 1,500 to 2,500 people every night. So you've got this big crowd in front of you who've never heard of you before. So like you're really tapping an audience that you would never have had. And they're the most beautiful theaters, like with gold trimmings and the red curtains and all that stuff. And the artists that I have grown up loving have played these stages, and it was really emotional, like playing all of these different stages. Like literally everybody I've ever loved as an artist, I've now played the same stage as them. I feel that's a huge honor. Like that's not normal. It's amazing that I got to do that. And then there's the second side of the tour, which is driving and driving and driving and lots of driving. And it was amazing to see all of the sights, but it was also an absolute nightmare. Being on the other side of the road, and I had this because it was my daddy driving and I was navigating, and you can imagine the communication between father and son can be annoying sometimes, but like we got through it. And I kept pushing at the ground with my foot because I wanted to press the brakes all the time because I was on the other side of the road. I felt like I should be in the driver's seat. Yeah, that was a challenge for sure, but really so worth it. Like the most amazing experience. It started in, I think New Jersey was the first show. It was the East Coast anyway. And then we went up to Canada, then back down into the middle of America, then back up to Canada, and we did the whole West Coast. So it was like this big M, and it took 30 days and 30 nights.
And how many shows?
16 shows.
Wow.
And then 2 shows were in Ireland. So it was a big feat. Like the biggest thing I had ever done. I slept for a month when I got home. I was exhausted.
What would you say, the biggest lessons you had from that experience are?
A huge lesson was, oh, I could just do that. Like do the tour. I had always thought like there are lots of different glass ceilings that you have to get through. And I always thought like looking up, oh my gosh, one day when I'm in a record label, or one day when I'm famous, or one day when I'm da da da, I can do a tour. But then when the opportunity was put in front of me, it was like, are you doing it or are you not? And I learned, oh, I could have just done a tour this whole time.
So are you telling me that there was thoughts about doing a tour before Paul Weller came along?
Yeah, like I always, like that's the goal. You want to go off and do tours, but it's always, you always want that push. And that was my push. And because I did it, I now realize, oh, I can just do a tour. I just got to save up. I've got to get funding. I've got to do all of the grafting and planning. And I have. I've organized one now. I've got a tour in October and November of Ireland and the UK. And yeah, I'm just doing it now. And I've learned I can. Yeah, it was a big learning curve for me.